How you doing, my brother?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Thank you for joining the platform, Man and Minds.
Hey, as soon as you told me I had to,
Appreciate
gotta
it,
support,
man.
bro.
Appreciate it. So for the listening audience, let them know who you are and what you do.
My name is Jaelen Steede. I'm a chef by trade. I started Brahmi Eats and Brahmi Eats Cafe and Catering, and I'm the owner of Brahmi Eats Cafe. So yeah, I do a little bit of chefing, a little bit of business management, a little bit of marketing and everything. So yeah, that's the crux of our business. Is we do catering, we do private dining experiences, we have contemporary Bermudian menus, we have buffet menus. We're doing this new Fit for Life stay ready meals concept, which is practically almost meal prep, but it's almost like adult like lunch kind of thing. So it's all macro counted and everything, so it's real healthy. That's on top of the shop that we do every day. We got this new thing kicking off with the BTA next week. For every Friday in March, we're having a food happy hour. So we're trying to take the concept of a happy hour, where yes, we have wine and we got food. We got wine. Come and get a good sip of some good wines. We have a good selection provided by Pitt and Company, and then we're gonna have a good bite to eat as well. But that's gonna be the focus. Is we're taking our own twists and spins on our cultural heritage dinner that we did with Chef Eric, but that we was fortunate enough. So much to talk about, right? Like we did the cultural heritage dinner with Chef Eric Ajapong, who was on Top Chef, which that was really cool because that's breaking the barrier and working with a chef who's of that like supreme caliber, and bringing people's eyes to Bermuda food in a whole different way. So we got to do some really different things and got people outside of the box thinking about Bermuda food. So the idea is to translate all of that and for those who missed it or those who really enjoyed it, to kind of capture those same elements and dishes, but bring them into like a canapé style, so you can just pick them up and get a little like at the same time. So we got a whole different array of canapé items that my boy Raven, who I work real close with, is like my best friend in terms of kitchen and stuff like that, like my right hand guy. He's done up all the menus and stuff for it, and the canapés, the real cool, the real different, but they're still Bermudian classics, and when you eat it, you're gonna be like, wow, I didn't think it could taste like this and look like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So between that, it's just been rolling and rolling and rolling, and yeah, just trying to do it, bro.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning.
Yeah, the beginning.
How did you start your own business? What was you doing prior to that made you want to do your own business?
It's not as glamorous and easygoing as I'm making it seem now, where everything's just kind of falling into a little bit of a place that I like to say. But I started out, me and my boy Raven met in orientation at Southampton Princess. I was still in high school. He was just graduating from BI, going to Bermuda College. We just met in orientation, and then we just found out we were working together part-time, breakfast at 5 o'clock in the morning outside at the Princess. So, it's not many people you're going to really bond with. There was 3 of us that we really bonded with. The first thing in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, we knocked off and go play FIFA after work. And it transitioned from that to kind of being an Instagram page. We were like, I always used to call him up and tell him, like, Raven, let's make something Michelin. Which, if anybody knows about food, the Michelin standard is like the creme de la creme standard. Some people don't agree with it, but that was the whole idea, is to kind of do something where we could put Bermuda food, or do something we could do to that standard. We would look up different things every week that Gordon Ramsay would do, or different things that we just see on different Netflix shows or Instagram, whatever. And we just go and put our little patties together, the $150, $200 a week. We just go with the same day we had off and make a plate and post it on Instagram. We both started working around. I had my own trials and tribulations working around different places. I went from Southampton Princess. I helped open the Lauren, so I cooked for people like the former government, the premier that was there all the time. I cooked for the entire McCarty family. I cooked for some really cool people. The chef that opened over there and that I worked with really closely is a really top chef from New York, and worked with another chef that was in and out of Florida, who ran another restaurant, and he just did concierge for a whole lot of restaurants to help them manage and figure out how the menus are going to work and elevate them. So it was 3 chefs in the kitchen. We did the opening party for like 300 people, and it was only 3 of us in the kitchen. It was me, another Indian guy, and it was an Italian guy. So I was the only Bermudian in the kitchen at that point, and I was in charge of doing the pasta, the setting the station for breakfast in the morning, setting it for lunch. doing the different sauces for dinner, making sure the station was set for dinner. So I experienced that 5-star service as soon as I left from doing Fairmont, where I was at Waterlot doing 4-star service, 4 diamond service. Sorry.
Right.
So then that got me a taste of the fine dining stuff, but I realized, it's not really for me. I was working a lot of hours. I weren't really making enough that I thought it was worth the time I was putting in. I kind of felt taken advantage of.
Right.
So, through other work and effort, I met you at Flanagan's, and that was a stint at Flanagan's where I thought I opened up a space for them, and I redid the catering menu for them. Things didn't work out the way that I thought it would there, again. And then that was really kind of the push that was like, bro, if everywhere since you graduated high school, because as soon as I came out of high school, I was up Southampton Princess. I got my Red Seal, which is the Canadian certification through Southampton Princess. I've been working everywhere since coming out of high school, and having those kind of issues and things like that, kind of making you feel like doubting yourself, kind of led me to being like, at that point, it was maybe I should just gamble on me and try to do what we were doing, because we were getting a good following on the Instagram page. We were cooking for a little bit of people, and then that it all hit like a moment. We cooked for Fabulous. We got lucky enough where I got a phone call one day and somebody knew I did private dining, and they were like, yo, we got a celebrity that we need you to cater for, and I didn't know who the hell it was. I had no clue. I was like, whatever, send it to me and see what I can do. And his assistant called me. He's like, hi, I'm representing Fabulous. And the next thing you know, we're cooking for him. I called Raven. Raven called out of sick from work. I said, we got to do this. We got to make this happen. And from that, it's like, just putting yourself out there and grinding and going through a lot of tears and blood and sweat, and times where, you're doubting, or it was even worth putting ourselves out there like that. I got offered the opportunity for this cafe. And a little rinky-dink little cafe, it was neglected. It had a little reputation about itself. So I went in there, we changed the name. We already had Burma Eats is what we thought we wanted to show everybody. We want to do what Burma Eats should. Well, let's show what Burma Eats. So cool. And then they were cleaning up the cafe tremendously. We changed the menu. The first menu we had didn't really hit. It was a time where it was like, we didn't know. I didn't know how this was gonna work. And then we switched the menu, and then it just looked like we lit a fire. I don't get it. Like, I really don't. It kind of just still blows my mind to this day that, from that day that we changed the menu, it's just been nothing but progressive growth. And that's not saying that we just did this all ourselves. I had my father and my parents were a big support system too. My father's still like my number one business best friend. I call him, ask him a questions, always got an answer for me. Anything I ask him to do for me is to go hell or high water to try to make it happen for me. And the different relationships with people who've seen that, we put in the work and that we're worth giving the effort and the time into, is where it's finally coming back to us. We did a lot of things. I volunteered for the BTA for a lot of time, where I went and just spoke at little events for them. I did little demos in the railway train and whatever. And now they're helping us put on this canopy event for the entire next month that we got to cook with Chef Eric. And the growth from there is where I'm really excited now, and I think that's where it's come to a point now. I think being in business and kind of, that's our real story is. It's realistically, we wanted to do something, we had an idea to do it, and we were like, you know what, let's just try it. And I kept pushing it.
And I just want to say, man, and I ate at your spot the other day, man. I really enjoyed it, man.
Thanks.
So for the listening audience, if you haven't eaten from Burma Eats, go check it out as soon as possible.
I encourage everybody to come there, because it's something for everybody. Even if you come in and you don't see what you like, don't be afraid to tell us what you want to see.
For sure.
The whole idea, the mantra, and it's even written on our little specials board, is that we encourage people letting us know what they want. We want the public to let us know. Well, let us know what Burma Eats.
Right.
I can put that on a menu. I can take the same ideas that people have, and maybe I can throw it in a sandwich or put it in a little bistro. Like, the idea is that we are a comedian contemporary, like, bistro. You know what I mean? And to say that, to explain that better for people, is to say we do Bermudian food, a little bit upscale, but Bermudian food is not limited to say that it's just barbecue chicken, macaroni and cheese, codfish cakes, jerk chicken. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even saying that jerk chicken is Jamaican.
Right.
Bermudian food is a collective. It's a feeling. It's a collective thing of comfort as well as our flavor. You
Right.
know what I mean? So we did a special that was like a meatloaf sandwich. You know what I mean? And people look at it, meatloaf. You know what I mean? But you take a bite of it, and you're like, somebody told me this. Like, this is exactly what I would want on a burger.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And it's something like taking like what your granny would make, like meatloaf with barbecue sauce and some broccoli slaw. Cause she had a little bag of broccoli and some lettuce and whatever. So she threw it together with the coleslaw dressing. Yeah. You know what I mean? We took that same way and some bread maybe, but you took that same idea, put it on a sandwich. You know what I mean? It's those ideas of giving you what Burma eats. Like, it's always gonna change. It's always gonna be different, but we're always gonna have the same things.
Right.
You get what I mean?
Right.
So we still do our fish sandwich. You know what I mean? And we still do our codfish breakfast whenever we need to, and we've done that for visitors and locals alike too. You know what I mean? Like, we still do our contemporary Bermudian things, but we're still willing to push it outside the box. And even looking at the pictures from the Chef Eric thing, we did a dish that was a lobster salad. But the way that we took that idea of the lobster salad was, you have one idea of a lobster salad, but when you looked at the plate, we wanted you to think about South Shore. So you looked at the plate, it was really colorful. It's a lot of reds and greens and bright colors and contrast. And then when you took a bite of it, there was all the same flavors that you'd want on the lobster salad, with a little bit of twist to it too, and give you a little bit of upscaleness to it, the dressings and different stuff that we did with it. So, you know, it was those kind of things, just getting people to think, you know, what is Bermuda food? Because it's at a weird crossroads right now. You know, it's so many different cultures in this country too, and we're at a place where everything's so racial. Food is the one vessel that's so political and racial, and it can cross all those bounds. I can literally make something that's Bermudian, Jamaican, Filipino, and Indian. Yeah. And it would literally hit here. And Portuguese, don't forget.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
You know, and even a lot of Bermudian dishes, people don't like to admit, do have a lot of Portuguese descent to them, like our codfish and potatoes. A lot of people, Americans and chefs alike, who look outside, looking in, see that as a Portuguese dish. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But a Bermudian here would fight tooth and nail and say, you know, that's mine, you know.
Right.
So it's cool things like that to rediscover them and pick them apart and put them back together. That's what we really try to do now.
Yeah, it's crazy how food migrated like language,
right?
Culture.
Exactly.
Cuisine migrated the same way, and you know, Bermuda is no different.
Exactly. Like there's no native here. Well, right. It's a whole collective of immigrants.
Right.
So, and that's what makes our culture so beautiful, makes our food so beautiful, and I think that's why, you know, chefs and everything are so popular right now, and why not have somebody like that in Bermuda? Why not have food like that in Bermuda that we can celebrate like that?
Sure.
Because at the end of the day, we have a lot here that we can be celebratory about and showcase, that people in the rest of the world fight over the ingredients we have here to use. As simple as the nasturtiums that grow far and wide here that are $25 a bunch that you get over in the States that we just have for free that people don't even use.
Right.
You know what I mean? The loquats. That are a descendant of a certain type of, like, I think it's an apricot or a plum or something like that. But you know what I mean? There's the Asian descent, but they're brought here. We can use those in a tropical kind of way. You got what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's the same ways in saying that those same flavors can be cooked in Asia, or it could be cooked in Portugal. It could be cooked everywhere else. But what is it that makes it Bermudian? You know what I mean? What makes us us? That's a cool question to ask now, because nobody really knows how to answer it.
Right.
So why not be at that point now where that's where what Burma eats help us figure out and show the world what we're doing, you know what I mean? Especially that through food, it's not limited to one race or one group of people. It's completely holistic. Right. Anybody can help with that. Anybody can tell you what they like to eat.
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, because Bermuda is just a collective of cultures, definitely, it gives our cuisine a different taste.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? It's a mixture between so many different cultures, and you know, like you said, we could eat almost everything and anything, and but the way that we put it, right, the way that we cook it, the way that we prepare it, is a different taste.
The love that goes into it too. Yeah. It's like it's a different kind of love that goes into it. Like, you know, it's the same way that you go to somebody's house in the States and their granny makes you an apple pie. You know what I mean? It's like this is, it's that feeling. You can't describe it. Yeah. You know, you don't know what it is, but you know you feel it. You know, you taste it. You know, and it's there. You know, and that's really what we try to create. Is we just want to hit that note every time. We just want people to know that whenever we do something, and I feel like there's a real feeling, especially in the restaurant community right now, that they don't really care about the food they put out. Every single dish that we cook, every single thing we put our hands on, every menu we create, we put our entirety into it. We care. You know what I mean? We to the point where we don't want you to just bash it. I want you to tell me how to fix it or make it better. Don't tell me it's awful. Tell me it's all right, but I would like it this way. You know what I mean? And that's what we're trying to change people and get them to realize that when we put something out there, whether or not it's amazing to you and you love it one time or you hate it and maybe you would want it a different way, we still want you to let us know that yes, you love it. I love to know people love my food, but I also want to know if that person did like my food, that sucks and it hurts me because I really want to make sure that that person likes the food.
Right.
Everything that we serve, everything that we make is something that we would eat ourselves.
Right.
That's the standard that we cook to, you know what I mean? And that's something that's really missing from this island right now in the food scene. I feel like it's changing. There's a little renaissance happening. Like I see a lot of different little chefs popping up now, and it's pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
So it is gonna change.
Especially just starting to see like more local chefs.
Definitely.
And I really respect that. But like you said
They're
earlier,
changing the thing of what a chef is too.
yeah. And like you said earlier, we met at Flanagan's.
Yeah.
And you was the early Bermudian chef in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
Z, but yeah, but when I saw you guys, I knew you guys were destined for greatness. So to early see that manifest,
I appreciate that.
after it's like, man, I was on point.
I'm sorry, not to cut you off, and even still now, I'm not just at work and enjoying the little times I get to be in the camera and whatnot. Like, I'm working my shop 7 days a week. I'm working 7 days a week, 365. I'm never turning off. I'm always thinking what I'm doing is not good enough, and I'm always trying to push to the next level too. So don't ever let. And that's the thing that I like to tell people too, is that even in Bermuda, we gotta have a very jealous culture too. Is nobody's made it, and you don't know what nobody's pushing for. You get what I'm saying? And we're only here to ever help each other grow and help each other push to the next level too.
Yeah.
So if that being said, like I'm still working. I feel as though I haven't achieved anything. Just to people that talk to me and say that I've achieved something, I tell them all the time, like I'm as humble comes, and I'm grateful as hell for everything I've gotten. I'm grateful for everywhere that we're going. I'm grateful for whatever's in store for me, because I know that I believe that with all the work and the hard work that we do put in, and the care and the love, and the bickering, and it's literally like a relationship and a baby that we have pushed this thing through.
Yeah.
It's not there yet, and we still don't feel like it's there yet, and maybe we never will. You get what I mean? But that being said, is that anything anybody really does, if you're not gonna put that into it and wake up every morning and practically, knock at a paycheck sometimes, and you be tired as hell, but you gotta get up at 6:30 in the morning. You get home at 3:30 the night before, and I'm gotta be back up to work. Go back to work at 8 o'clock the next morning. You know what I mean? And put me in those hours and grinding for something that at the end of the day you're trying to see completely successful. That's the thing for me. That's what really keeps me going.
Hey, you're doing it, brother. Through all your sacrifice, you're doing it. So now, another interesting thing I saw when I was at your shop, the staff. Tell me about the staff.
The staff.
Yeah,
That's me. It's my boy Raven, and then we briefly touched on my boy Z.
Yes.
And Z is somebody I met at Flanagan's. Everybody that I'm working with right now, anybody that has worked with me, it's been for a reason, or like it's somebody that I've tried to help or put on, or something of that nature. I feel within myself, whether or not that I don't mean to be selfish in saying that, or casting anything on anybody saying that. I say that in saying that me being in any position that I feel I can help or do, I want to do because I care to do. You know what I mean? Because I felt like nobody did for me. Even though people have for me, that's not saying they didn't, you know what I mean? But it's a lot more avenues I had to go out there and push for to get where I am, you know what I mean? Whereas I want to give a lot more people a shot and an opportunity, and that's a lot of what my personal goals are outside of being a chef, you know what I mean? And that's what everybody forgets too, that I'm still Jaelen Steede. I'm not just, that chef guy. Like, yes, I am a chef, but, like, becoming a business owner
Mm-hmm.
has made me open my eyes and realize that I want so much more. I want to teach people so much more, to give people so much more. And I will never forget that I had this little moment, and I laugh about it still, that I sat in my bed one night and it hit me like a bolt of lightning. I don't even remember why. I called my daddy and I said, Daddy, you know what? I said, I don't want to just be nothing. I said, like, I feel like I'm meant to do something, Daddy. Like, I wanna help, and I wanna leave a mark. I don't know how, but I'm gonna leave a mark somewhere, some way, somehow. And I said, whether that's through food, then hey, you know what I mean? Let me do that, because it was not hella easy becoming a chef, and I'm a certified chef to say that, you know what I mean? It's a real something, you know what I mean? I put in hours, years, you know what I mean? And I'm only 25. Exactly. I'm talking like I'm an old man, like I'm only 25, but it's the experience and the knowledge that I've gained in it, and the wisdom too, because it's more so not planning for now, or not thinking about now, or not just thinking about myself. It's thinking about how do the decisions I make affect the business, my staff, not even just my staff, but in terms of seeing my staff are practically like my brothers.
Yeah,
Two
sure.
guys that work with me are like my boys, like, you know what I mean? I care hella hard about both of them. Both of them I know care hella hard about me, and it's not been easy for none of us doing this. And it's still not easy going forward, and but we are making progress, you know, and that's why we all care so much and we all stick together, you know, and that's what people don't get is, you know, there's things that have to really, really, really happen behind the scenes, and you really have to push for in business, you know what I mean? And it doesn't happen just by yourself, you know. Yes, a lot of the ideas, I have so many ideas in my head I want to do, but without the team and the people telling me that, hey, maybe this is a good idea, or hey, bro, we're taking on too much right now. Let's make sure we get this stuff 100%.
Right.
Or even in terms of Z might not be like my business partner like that, but Z is always that person that I know I can go to, and when I'm having a really hard time and just mentally, physically, as and that's something we all forget about too, being in the ethnic community. Like, you know, it is a lot of stress to take on, it's a lot of anxiety, it's a lot of sleepless nights and stuff, you know. He's the guy that I lean on and I can really talk to too, you know what I mean? I can vent to him about a lot of things, you know. That's really nice to know that I have that too, and I have that friendship too. So that's where I think the drive to really make this thing bigger than what it is comes from, is that I have so many people that have believed in me, and so many people that I've been shouting and screaming, give me a shot, give me a shot, give me a shot, give me a shot. That now that I get that shot, I can't let those people down. And that's the thing that I think really keeps me up. That's the thing that maybe feeds my anxiety. That's the thing that maybe it's not a really good thing for me to lean on, but that's my driving factor, that I cannot let these people down. I want to make sure that everybody that's invested and put in time and effort and money and emotion, everything in me, that I can give something back to them, that I can put them on to at least half of the level that they helped me get put onto. You know what I mean?
Man, hey, I could feel the passion.
And that's 100%. Like, I can't. And people probably say or anybody listening think I'm being cheesy or whatever. I'm speaking 100%. That's me as a person. Anybody that will meet me or talk to me can tell you that I care.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
Especially people like, you know, and it's cool seeing a lot of young people like me out there right now too, like Maya Palacio.
Yeah.
Excellent person too, you know what I mean? She's somebody I really look up to as somebody who's trying to push change and stuff like that too. And she's not a chef, you know what I mean? And that's the thing that I'm trying to stress here, is that it's not just about being in food. Like, food is the thing that we do that we're doing really well, you know what I mean? But that's not for everybody. Everybody needs to find out what they do well, you know what I mean? And,
for sure.
And just as much as I give a crap about tourism and hospitality and working in my shop and cafe and food up in Bermuda, you can do that in anything, you know?
For sure. So that brings me to my next segment. We're doing a segment called 3 Keys,
Yes.
man. So for the listening audience, man, one thing I just want to say before I go, I can feel the passion. It's real, it's genuine. So the 3 keys. What is your 3 keys to success, man? Because you're a success story. I've watched it grow, and I look forward to seeing it blossom even further. So just give us these 3 keys.
My
brother.
3 keys, I think, is modesty. You have to stay modest, stay humble. My daddy doesn't like that word, right? And my daddy always fights me when I use that word too, and that's what makes me laugh. But I say modest and humble in saying that you never, ever, ever feel like you deserve anything. You don't deserve anything in this world. Nobody is right to give you anything unless you prove it. You work for it. You get what I mean? That's where the modesty comes in. The second part I would say is the hard work, is the determination. It's and when I say that, I mean in putting your idea out there in the first place. That's brave as hell to put an idea out there, to let people take a shot at it. But even still, don't take everything negatively people take on 100%, and vice versa. Don't take all the positives on 100%. You need to push for your idea and keep doing what you do good. As long as you know what you're doing, you do well, keep doing that. Stay on it. Don't change because somebody's telling you what to do. Take ideas on board and see how you can build yourself, but never deviate from where you started. You got what I'm saying?
Yeah,
People
sure.
often do that. And then the third thing I would say is teamwork. You know, the relationships you build with people are really important. I wouldn't be in half the position I am without, like I said, Raven, Z, my mama, my daddy, you know, my godparents, my uncles, aunties, you know, anybody who comes in and is giving me feedback on my stuff, anybody who's booked us for an event, anybody who's giving us a shot to BTA especially, you know what I mean? Like, teamwork, networking, building relationships with people, understanding what people like, what people want, you know what I mean? That's another part of it, you know, we like to see people happy. I never like to see somebody upset. Even when I was a little kid, I never liked to make anybody mad. The minute somebody was mad at me, I'm trying to figure out how can I make you not mad at me, you know what I mean? So, you know, as simple as that. Care about one another. Be genuine to people, no need to be nasty. And yeah, I think that's the 3 things. Modesty, hard work, and teamwork, you know.
And this been a passion filled interview,
Yeah,
man.
bro, like I feel it, like I felt real good saying this.
Yeah, man, and it's gonna hit well with the people, man.
I hope so.
I think so.
I hope so.
I really think so. And I just want to thank you for coming.
Thank you.
For giving me some of your time, because I know you're a busy man, and you know you got
I'm never
a successful
busy.
business to run.
Try my best. I'm never busy for those people who I really believe in either, you know what I'm saying? And, and I appreciate you giving me a platform to kind of put my voice out there and express my feelings and the things that go on in my head, because, you know, sometimes we feel like nobody really cares about what goes on in our head, and we just do it and we work, you know what I mean? And we get kind of lost in the idea of just working and making people happy, and we forget if anybody really listens to how we feel.
And so, this is why Millionaire Minds is so important, because I think that we need to learn from each other's stories.
Definitely.
I mean, you know, I look at a bunch of young people and I'm like, you know, man, we need to really give people the roses and you know, and say like, look, man, I see what you're doing, I acknowledge it, and you inspired people. You know what I mean?
Build people up, man.
Yeah, man. Because like I said,
enough of it going on, and the world's full of hate, man. There's so much hate going on. Why not just keep being positive, keep pushing for positivity? At the end of the day, you know, and to anybody who may even have hard feelings to me, you know, I never do anything with the intention of hurting anybody, and never do anything with the intention of any ill intention either. I'm 100% genuine.
And that's good.
And people appreciate that. And that's what people need to be more of. I appreciate it. And that's why I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, I appreciate you. Because you're inspiration, you know what I mean? To watch you blossom, it's been a joy, man.
Thanks, man.
You know what I mean? And I look forward to continuing to see you go, man, to the lengths. So, you know, I'm here as a support whenever you need as well.
Bro,
So,
definitely. You know, we need another check-in. Maybe a year from now we have another interview.
Exactly.
See what's
You
going
know?
on.
And then we could look back at this and say, well, look, this is where you was at, this where I was at. And that's the key, you know?
Definitely.
But thank you for coming, brother.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.